welcome back. We're going to be looking at some new coins that we got in. Just some beautiful, mostly PCGS examples of some higher end coins. This is a 1910 Lincoln Wheat Cent, graded MS66 red brown, with some beautiful toning. It's got that oil spill rainbow color, and on a high grade coin, this would have been a really nice red coin, potentially a 66 or 67 red. Just look at that color. Obviously my preference is this being a nice toned example. You can just see like the satin fields. You can tell that this would have been a really nice original red coin before it was put in whatever sort of album it was put into, but toned really nice and really uniquely. All these coins, of course, are going to be available as always, or are currently listed for sale on our eBay store if they haven't sold already. Make sure to check that out in the link below. Here we have a 1901 Morgan, an AU58. Now this coin doesn't look too special off the rip, but if you're familiar with the Morgan Dollar series, you know that the 1901 Philadelphia is pretty much a key date in high grades. In fact, it's one of the most rare Morgan Dollars in the entire series in gem, MS65, MS66 grades. You rarely will find a 1901 Morgan in an uncirculated condition. This one just missed the mark. It looks like it has some wear on the high points. Quite a bit of chatter over the face. You can see some light scratching and contact marks, but most likely this coin would have been just a hair off of a low uncirculated graded coin if it would have been pulled out of circulation just a little bit sooner. A really nice AU58 though, still some remaining luster. Nice coin. We have a 1917 MS63 Walking Liberty half dollar. I actually thought this coin was counterfeit at first when I bought it because the holder looks a little weird. This is an older blue label holder with the PCGS Secure, and you'll usually find older coins in the PCGS blue label. There's nothing too out of the ordinary with that, but to find one with the PCGS Secure, this coin does have a TrueView with it. If you look up the certification number, the TrueView matches the coin. There's some identifying marks on the coin, so the coin is genuine. But you don't see a whole lot of these old green holders with the TrueView. So this was probably one of the early coins that was photographed by the PCGS photography department. And this coin is really nice for a 63. Has really clean surfaces. The 1917 Walkers usually come pretty nice, so not a huge surprise. This coin's almost totally blast white, just a tiny bit of toning around the rim there, but very lustrous for a 63. The other thing was this coin looked nicer than a 3 to me, so I was also suspect of that. You know, usually coins that are counterfeits are not in the correctly graded holder, but everything checked out on this one. This one's genuine. Got some second opinions on it. It's all good. The coin totally looks real if you look at it closer, but just an interesting coin with the PCGS shield on the older blue holder. We have a 1934 Peace Dollar graded MS66. This one has some really nice original toning on it. It's a shame for that mark there right on the head. If that wasn't there, this coin may be a hair nicer. I think that keeps it back from potentially a 66 plus. But this coin's totally original. Likely sat in an old cardboard holder for a while. Maybe an old manila envelope. The cheek is just really, really nice. You don't see any major distractions or abrasions on the cheek. There's some faint marks there, but overall the luster just rolls right over it. It's a really nice high grade example and a tougher date, especially in the higher grades. Speaking of high grades, we have a 1947S Washington quarter in MS68. Registry grade coin here, some light toning. I'm assuming this coin came out of a mint set, being 1947. Whoever opened this one up got lucky. 1947S, first year of the mint set. And you'll find a lot of really higher end coins out of those mint sets if you're lucky and you get a fresh original set. But an MS68 is definitely a step up. And this coin just has really nice luster and a really nice look to it. And relatively few hits. A nice MS68. We have the only NGC coin in this lot, an 1813 cap bus $half graded XF45. This is what you want your cap bus $half to look like. Super original, unmessed with. Dark and crusty. You can see there's some die clashes, some sort of marks up there. I'm not an expert when it comes to the Overton varieties. You can see also right there on the obverse. Clearly this one has an Overton variety of some sort. Not, like I said, not an expert. I don't really follow varieties too closely, but just a nice coin. I bought this one because it's a nice extra fine cap bust $half, and anytime they come like this, I'm going to try to buy them. Some light toning as well. We have an 1881 Carson City Morgan MS63 in the cat grading holder. Not a huge fan of the obverse of this coin. It's pretty marky. 81cc is a better date. You know, maybe this slides through as a 63. The luster and the fields are definitely a 63. I think that helps the grade a lot. The cheek is really chattery, maybe more like a 62. But the reverse is really, really nice and much nicer than a 63. I wouldn't be surprised to see a reverse like this on a 64 or 65. Reverses usually don't help the coin too much in terms of grade. They typically don't affect the coin's grade. In a positive way, they can reduce the coin's grade, but it's likely this coin probably got a bit of the benefit of the doubt with the color and just the fact that the reverse is so nice. Like, this would have been a crime to put this coin in a 62 holder, I think, given how nice the reverse is. But I wish they would have reverse mounted this one. That would have looked pretty nice. We have an 1887-0 and MS64 Plus CAC. Another tough date Morgan. This coin has really nice luster. The cheek's a little marky. That's what held it back from a 5, in my opinion. But just a nice coin. I mean, these don't come nice at all. Extremely rare in MS65 and up. So to find one 4 plus CAC sticker, you're saving some money before the big jump. It's a nice coin with some nice luster. Speaking of better date Morgans, here's an 86S. Fortunately, this holder is kind of scuffed up. The coin looks like a nice 64. It's going to be a little hard to see with the holder. It's pretty scratched up, but nice MS64. Again, looks a little bit worse than it is in hand just because of the holder, but tough coin to find in 64, and really an 86S and any higher grade is tougher to find. Right in that early to mid 1980s, especially with the San Francisco mints, tough to find. 1943 steel cent and MS68 PCGS graded. I like buying 1943 steel cents and MS68. I don't know why. They just look really nice, and really to find a Lincoln wheat cent in MS68 is pretty tough. So they're pretty plentiful in the 1943 range. 1943 at any mint mark is really pretty plentiful in MS68. But that's about the only the only date where Lincoln wheat cents can be found in MS68. They're conditional rarities in most of the other dates in the set. So you can usually find the highest quality for the price from the 1943 cents. Obviously, people kept a lot of the 1943 cents when they came out, and so finding them in higher grades is pretty common. But if you want real quality, if you're building a typeset, obviously the steel cent's going to have its own spot in a typeset, but if you really want to buy a nice Lincoln cent I'd definitely look at the 1943 PDS range. Here's another one, San Francisco. Very lustrous, and it's also pretty common to find these with dye polish lines. Gives it almost a semi-proof-like surface. You can just see the lines there, and they're more obvious on the reverse. You can see those lines, looks like a little scratching, and this is from the dye polish. Sort of leaves those marks on the surface. Nice, gives it a nice flashy appearance. It seems like most higher end steel scents that I see have that dye polish marking. So not sure if that's if it hides marks or if it just adds more luster and a better eye appeal to the coin. But here's a 1916S MS64 Buffalo nickel. And this was cracked out of an AccuGrade MS65, an older holder. I thought MS65 might be a little aggressive, but this coin just has some really nice color. You can see the reverse rainbows, almost a full reverse toning. Obverse, some blue, some yellow, nothing too special. I don't love those spots there, but the reverse is really nice, and you don't usually find color like this on a Buffalo nickel. So I wanted to get it graded with the TrueView. Unfortunately, the TrueViews didn't come out too well in this one. Kind of was a bit of a letdown on that, but you can just see the color here in the video. So you get an idea for what it looks like in hand. Pretty nice. And we have in 1926 an MS67 Plus. Just an absolute gem. Not much really more to say about this one other than it's a high-end registry grade coin. There's not many finer. It's got some nice pleasing toning on the obverse and a little bit on the reverse as well. Relatively mark-free, very lustrous. Just a super high-end coin. An MS67 Plus for a Buffalo nickel, especially in the 20s, is almost unheard of. So a nice registry grade coin if you're building a Buffalo nickel set or a registry type set. This one might be for you. Beautiful coin. And last but not least, we have an 1877 trade dollar, an MS65 Plus. You don't see a whole lot of trade dollars this nice across the entire series. Obviously, it was a shorter series. A lot of the coins got sent overseas. A lot of them got marked up with chop marks so that the traders in the Asian countries could identify the coins as genuine, I believe. If anyone has any more information and wants to put that in the comments below, that would be nice. But this one is totally free of chop marks. It's got a little bit of a fingerprint on the reverse, kind of over here in the fields, it looks like. But other than that fingerprint, I mean, this is just a nice original coin. An MS65 Plus is a nice and accurate grade for this one. This looks like scratching over here, but really this is just a toning pattern. You can just see the cartwheeling luster. Relatively mark-free and really a high-end coin. So another great coin if you're building a type set. Almost unheard of to find this coin in 66 or 67, really at any date in the series. And in 1877 Philadelphia is also a slightly better date. I mean, it's not like a really rare date of any sort of caliber, but usually if you're going to find a trade dollar, it's going to be more of an 1875S or an 1875 Philadelphia maybe. Finding one, 1877, is a little trickier. This is just a nice example. So these are all the new coins that we got in. All these are available on our eBay store, as I mentioned. The link is in the description below. Make sure to check them out. You can also email me, contact@regencycoins.com. I'll put my email here if you're interested in buying any of these at a better price directly from us. So thanks so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you found this video interesting. Thanks so much, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.